Magandang araw mga kaibigan at welcome to Pinoy Pulse Global. Ako si #WalkWithLan, ang inyong gabay sa masalimuot na mundo ng Philippine politics with a twist of humor, wit, and global perspective. Ngayong araw, we're diving into the hot topic na bumabalikwas sa Maynila, ang pagbabalik ni Mayor-elect Isko Moreno at ang kontrobersyal na midnight appointees ni outgoing Mayor Hani Lacuna Pangan. Plus, we'll zoom out to see how this drama connects to global politics and the lives of our OFWs abroad. Ready na ba kayo for a couple of minutes deep dive? Let us do this. Pero bago tayo magsimula, mga kosa, hit that subscribe button, i-like ang video, at drop your thoughts sa comment section, lalo na kung OFW kayo sa US, UK, o Middle East. Your support fuels this channel. So if you're feeling extra generous, send us a super thanks to keep the Pinoy Pulse beating strong. Share this sa inyong mga kaibigan abroad para mas marami tayong ma-inspire at ma-inform. Let's make this go viral. So bakit nga ba mainit ang usapan tungkol kay Isko Moreno? His bold claim, walang empleyadong sisibakin, is making waves. Pero may catch. Isang buwan bago siya maupo, lumalabas ang balita na sandamakbak daw ang midnight appointees at promotions ni Mayor Hani Lacuna Pangan. Ano ang laban dito? Is this a power grab or just political noise? At bakit affected ang mga senior citizens at estudyante na hindi nakakatanggap ng ayuda? We'll unpack this with facts, storytelling, at konting sariwang satire, all while connecting the dots to ASEAN and global politics. So buckle up, mga kaibigan, for a wild ride. Let's set the stage. Isko Moreno, or Yorme to his legion of fans, is a classic Pinoy success story. From scavenging in Tondo to starring in Dutch Entertainment to become Manila's mayor in 2019. His journey is inspiration overload. Noong 2019, he shocked the world by defeating former President Joseph Estrada, promising a cleaner, more vibrant Manila. And he delivered somewhat. The Luneta Field Hospital during COVID, built in 52 days. Free tablets for students? Check. Pero noong 2022, he ran for president, lost big time, and vowed to quit politics. Spoiler alert, he's back and he's not playing small. Last May 2025, Isko won a landslide victory. Imagine 530,825 votes against the incumbent, Hani Lacuna, which she got 190,617. That's a 59% to 21% knockout. His campaign mantra, make Manila great again, sounds like a nod to a certain orange-haired politician. Pero it resonated with Manileños tired of garbage crisis and unpaid ayuda. Pero here's the catch. Isko's inheriting a city with a reported 8 to 11 billion pesos in unpaid obligations. Wow! Medicines, security services, even cakes for seniors, hindi nabayaran. Ano ang plano po ni Yorme? A mock superhero trailer with Isko as Yorme Man, flying over Manila to pay the bills, with a dramatic voiceover saying, in a city drowning in debt, one man rises. Pero let's keep it real. Isko's 2019 to 2022 term wasn't perfect. Of course, critics, including Hani Lacuna, slammed his reliance on loans to fund projects like the Bagong Ospital ng Maynila, which allegedly didn't meet DOH standards. So, is Isko's comeback a genuine reform agenda or just a sequel to his old playbook? Let's find out. Enter Hani Lacuna Pangan, Manila's first female mayor and Isko's former vice mayor. Siyempre, a doctor by profession, she stepped into the mayor seat in 2022 after a successful partnership with Isko during the pandemic. Lacuna handled health logistics while Isko played the charismatic frontman. Pero things got messy when Isko announced his 2025 candidacy, breaking his promise to support her re-election. Ouch! Betrayal alert. Lacuna publicly said, I feel betrayed. Parang script ng ang probinsyano, di ba? Pero here's the chismis that's got everyone talking. Allegedly, Lacuna appointed a ton of midnight appointees and handed out promotions in her final month. For our OFW viewers, midnight appointees are last-minute hires or promotions by an outgoing official, often to reward loyalists or secure influence. In Manila, where the budget is tight, every new employee strains the payroll. Pero teka, wala pang solid proof kung gaano karami ang appointees o kung illegal ba talaga ito. Is this a scandal or is Isko just steering the pot? A mock game show called Guess the Appointee with contestants trying to count Lacuna's alleged hires with a buzzer sounding for every wrong guess. To be fair, Lacuna's team insists her appointments, like naming her husband, Dr. Arnold Pangan, as City Health Officer, were merit-based. Pero Isko's not having it. He's vowed to remove Pangan on day one, slamming the city's online healthcare system as anti-poor and inaccessible to seniors without smartphones. Valid point. Pero isn't this also a jab at Lacuna's family? Her brother, Dennis Lacuna, runs the city planning office too. Wow. Sounds like a dynasty, right? Let's weigh both sides. Now let's talk about the Ayuda fiasco. Under Lacuna's watch, maraming senior citizens at estudyante ang hindi nakatanggap ng kanilang financial assistance. We're talking about 500 pesos monthly allowances for seniors and educational aid for students. Critical support in a city where 30% of the population lives below the poverty line, especially in Tondo and Smoky Mountain. Isko hammered this issue during his campaign, prioritizing to prioritize Batang Maynila with seamless serbisyo. Pero let's not put Isko on a pedestal During his 2019 to 2022 midterm term, there were complaints about ayuda distribution too. In 2020, some seniors reported long waits and rude treatment at City Hall's Senior Citizens Department. So both Isko and Lacuna have their share of ayuda flops. The real question is, can Isko fix this mess or is he just making promises to win votes? And how does this affect our OFWs who send billions of pesos home to support their families? Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Manila's not just a city, it's the heart of the Philippines. And its struggles mirror challenges across ASEAN. Cities like Singapore and Kuala Lumpur boast efficient governance, clean streets, digital services, transparent budgets. Manila, we're dealing with garbage crisis, unpaid contractors, and political drama. The January 2025 garbage crisis triggered by a dispute with Lionel Waste Management was a low point. Lacuna blamed sabotage, hinting at Isko's alleged ties to contractor. Pero isn't this a sign of deeper systematic issues? Globally, Manila woes aren't unique. Cities like Jakarta and Bangkok face similar battles with corruption and mismanagement. But for our OFWs in the US, UK, and Middle East, this hits home literally. When ayuda doesn't reach your lola, or when garbage piles up in Tondo, who picks up the slack? Kayo, mga OFW. sending hard-earned dollars and pounds. That's why Isko's call for pagkakaisa resonate. It's not just about Manila, but about uplifting the Philippines in a competitive global landscape. Time to get nerdy with a policy breakdown. Isko's platform hinges on pagkakaisa and fixing Manila's 8 to 11 billion pesos debt. His promise a full audit and prioritize ayuda for seniors and students. Sounds great. Pero his 2019 to 2022 term leaned heavily on loans, leaving Manila with a financial hangover. Lacuna, meanwhile, paid off 2.5 billion pesos of that debt and secured a seal of good local governance in 2024. Pero her administration have fumbled with the garbage crisis and ayuda delays, costing her political capital. Amak TV with Isko saying, make Manila great again, and Lacuna countering, great, you left us with a billion peso credit card bill. Seriously, though, Manila needs a sustainable budget, efficient services, and transparency. Isko's slogan is catchy, but without a concrete plan to tackle the debt and streamline ayuda. It's just pang MMFF rhetoric. Lacuna's merit-based appointments sound noble, pero when family members dominate key posts, it raises eyebrows. Both leaders need to step up or Manila will stay stuck in the traffic jam of progress. So ano ang final word? Isko Moreno's comeback is a mix of hope, hype, and huge challenges. His walang empleyadong sisibakin promise sets a high bar, but the midnight appointees issue and unpaid obligation muddy the waters. Lacuna's term had wins like a debt reduction and health programs, but failures in ayuda and waste management cost her the election. This isn't just Isko versus Hani. It's about Manila's place in the Philippines and the world. Mga kaibigan, lalo ng ating mga OFW, your voice is power. Manila's politics affects your families, your remittances, your future. So let's keep this convo alive. Hit subscribe, like the video, and comment. Sinong mas magaling? Isko o Hani? Anong top priority para sa Manila? And if this video sparks some insights, send a super thanks naman to keep Pinoy Pulse Global going strong. Here it is sa inyong mga kaibigan sa US, UK, at Middle East. Let's make Manila's story heard worldwide. This is #WalkWithLan signing off. Stay woke, stay engaged, at mag-ingat kayo lagi. Salamat at see you in the next episode.